In this video, I want to talk about if you have 300,000 pesos invested in Pag-IBIG, how much would that earn for you? So for those who want to know how much you could get from Pag-IBIG'S MP2, check this video out. Hi everyone, this is Marvin Germo. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you get updated every time I create new content about investing, the stock market, entrepreneurship, and in this video, Pag-IBIG'S MP2. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe, hit the bell, and be part of this growing number of Filipinos investing and making their money work hard for them. Hey guys, so as what I said at the top of this video, I wanted to discuss how much your 300,000 would go when you start investing it in Pag-IBIG'S MP2. And just a backdrop to everything, what I've been doing over the past few days is I've been reviewing all of your questions, all of your comments, all of the things that you've been sending out via social media, especially in YouTube, and I've been trying to make content off of that. So if you have any questions based on this topic or anything else under the sun, comment them below and I'll try to make videos related to that as well. So this video, this is something that was sent by Joy May Moscosa. Similar to what I do, I'll try to put the graphic here so you get to read it as well. But I read most of your comments. I don't get to comment into most of them because of the sheer volume of people who have been sending. But I super appreciate all your messages and all of you guys who've been replying via Instagram stories. You guys are amazing. Anyways, this is what she sent. She was replying to a video that I created where someone earned 80,000 pesos from Pag-IBIG'S MP2. Now, Joy May Moscosa is saying, question, if in case nag-invest ako ng 5,000 pesos a month, so 5,000 pesos a month is equal to 60,000 pesos a year, with a total of 300,000 after 5 years, how much would be the expected return? Now, here's the thing, and here's the entire narrative for Pag-IBIG'S MP2. People might have not got what I said earlier, that number one, when I said the capital is guaranteed, it's only the money that you put in. Meaning, if you put in 300,000 pesos, you have an expectation that what you get won't be lower than 300,000 pesos. It will be higher, but there's no volatility, unlike the stock market that in 5 years' time, unless it's a preferred share, you're not sure what the value of your stock will be. There's a chance that it will be massively higher, but there's a chance also that if you place 300,000 pesos, it might be lesser or it might be lower. So that's what I'm trying to say and trying to add context to it. But here's the thing, the capital is guaranteed. However, your earnings, that's what's variable. As what I've mentioned also, that your earnings is dependent on what Pag-IBIG would earn on that year based on the loans that it would give you. Please remember, Pag-IBIG, when you give your money to Pag-IBIG, the basic way for them to earn from it is they don't invest it in the stock market. A lot of people have this misconception, baka nilalagay nila sa Forex, sobrang galing ng fund managers. Not really. They make their money based on the loans that they give out. So if there's a lot of people who take out loans, that means more people will have the ability to earn more as well because more people are borrowing. So it's dependent on the number of people who want to have houses, the number of people taking up the loans, the number of people that get approved, and people paying up their loans as well. Because that's the most basic premise of it. If people don't pay their loans, then Pag-IBIG will also have lower earnings that year. Anyways, what I'll show you is basically this. Since Pag-IBIG's earnings are variable, it's dependent on what it's earning. What we can do is we can try to simulate. What we can try to simulate with varying rates as well. With varying rates. So in the example, I just showed you interest rate, but it's not really an interest rate, it's dividends. But I just want to show you so at least you have a picture, you have a snapshot of what it could be as well. But please take note, this is not what's actually gonna happen. It's gonna be really dependent on how Pag-IBIG performs per year. But I just want to show you so you have perspective on what it is. So comment below, by the way, I'm going to show you an Excel sheet. Comment below if you want to have it. I'm going to try to put a link again for those that want to have a copy of it. And for those also who want to join and learn more about the stock market, I have online seminars. They're in the description below. I also have seminars, live training sessions in different parts of the world. They're also in the description. And for those who want to learn and consume via books, they're also in the description below. So if you guys are ready, comment, I'm ready. Anyways, I want to start with this. If you look at the Excel sheet, you will see this. This is what we talked about at the start, no? 5,000 pesos monthly. So 5,000 pesos times 12 is equal to 60,000. So I'm just showing this to you so at least you get how the flow will be. But in the later portions of this simulation, it will be faster already, so at least you get it. So this portion, capital plus interest, is still blank because you don't have any earnings yet. So please remember, replace the term interest with dividends because we're getting dividends from Pag-IBIG. Now, you have, I'm just simulating that, for example, for this year, you get 8% dividends. So that means that 8% of 60,000 is 4,800 pesos. So at the end of the year, you get 64,800 pesos na earnings. Anyways, you have an option in Pag-IBIG to take out the earnings, but I highly suggest this. If you really want it to make money for you, that's where compounding happens. When you earn, do not take out the money. Do not take out your earnings. You have to reinvest it because that's where the power is. That's what's gonna make it grow over the long term. And let's look at this at 8%. This is how it would basically look like. So if you stayed the course and put in again 5,000 pesos a month, you would have gotten 134,000 pesos at the end of the year. So from 60,000, it's now 134,000. Let's look at year 3. Year 3, it would have been 210,000 pesos. Year 4, it would have been 291,000 pesos. And year 5, it would have been 380,000 pesos. So if you notice it, your 300,000 pesos total money that you've placed in would have been 380,000 pesos. And if you try to notice it also, it's roughly more than 20% already in the total of that 5-year duration. So that's how it normally would go. But just a disclaimer also, this is just for simulation purposes. It won't be 8% a year. There's no guarantee that it will be 8% even for the next few years. What I do know is I'm just trying to simulate it for you guys as well. So let's continue. I'm going to show you more examples. Let's try to go lower so at least you have an expectation. So 300,000, assuming that it's consistent 8%, you get 380,000. But what I like about Pag-IBIG is, as what I've mentioned in the previous videos, is it's tax-free. So this 380,000, that's all yours already. No, there's no withholding tax that will be taken away from it as well. So this one, para hindi na lang kayo malito, I'll just put dividends na lang para it's easier for you guys to dividends. So it's easier for you guys to understand. So even for the other examples, I'll try to put dividends here so that you get to understand it properly and better. So here, the others, here too, here as well, and lastly here. So at least you have greater context. Anyways, so 5,000 pesos again, same as you can see here, 12 months times 5,000 times 12, it's still 60,000. You have to remember the strength here is there's no magic here. It's just really you being faithful with the money that you have, being disciplined enough to put in a regular amount at a regular period of time, and you just let interest, I just let compounding, you just let time, you just let sowing and putting in money work hard for you. But anyways, this assumes that Pag-IBIG will give you a dividend consistent, steady at 7% a year for the next 5 years. So you're at 7%, you would earn 4,200. Your cash at the end of the year will be 64,200. And this is how it looks like at the end of year 2. This is how it looks like at the end of year 3. This is how it looks like at the end of year 4. And this is how it will look like at the end of year 5. So as you notice it, as the dividends start to become smaller, the earnings that you will get also will be relatively smaller. But I'll tell you this will still crush time deposits. This will still beat time deposits as well. So if it's consistent at 8% for 5 years, you get 380,000. If it's consistent at 7% for 5 years, you get 369,000. Now let's look at 6%. So I'm giving you just so I just want to manage your expectations that, hey, it won't be always 8%. That possibly it could be also lower. So at least you get to see how it would look like as well. So at 6% interest, 6% dividends, 5,000 pesos, 12 months, 60,000, 6%, you get 3,600 at the end of the year. Then if you add it to your capital, it becomes 63,600. Then boom, at the end of the second year, it becomes 131,000. At the end of the third year, it becomes 202,000. At the end of the fourth year, it becomes 278,000. At the end of the fifth year, it becomes 358,000. So the progression is very, very consistent. It becomes smaller every time the rate becomes lower. So 380 if it's 8% consistent, 369 if it's 7% consistent, 6% if 358 if it's 6% consistent. Now let's go even lower. Comment below, guys, if you're learning, if this is something that's helping you, if this is something that's adding value to you, and if this is something that's not boring. I'm just trying to create a way that finance investing is something that's educational and not boring to a lot of people. Now, this is 5%, same methodology, 5,000, 12 months, 5,000 times 12, 60,000. 60,000 earning 5% is 3,000 pesos at the end of the year. And if you notice it also, you earn 63,000. And at the end of the second year, it's now 129,000. If you look at also the earnings that you get, 3,000. So this should be dividend earnings. So I have to edit more edits. Sorry, I didn't notice this, but this was just something that I thought it would be interesting for all of you guys. So I'll edit this again. So dividend earnings, you will see this. So the dividend earnings would be 66,150 already. The first year, it was only 300,000. Second year, at 3,000. Second year, it became 3,150. Why? Because your base is already higher. That's how it is. If you don't remove your cash, you continue to put in, and then you let your interest also work hard for you, or you let your earnings work hard for you. So the total value already at the end of the second year is 129,000. At the end of the third year, it's 198,000. At the end of the fourth year, it's 271,000. At the end of the fifth year, it's 348,000 pesos already. So if you notice it, the dividend earnings keep on increasing, but because the dividends for this, we are assuming that it's just consistent at 5%, you get only 348,000 pesos. Now, for this particular simulation, I want to show you now what if per year it varies. Now, the previous examples I gave you, it doesn't happen all the time that way. Now, it will always be the same rate per year. That doesn't happen. So I want to simulate now, what if you have 8%? What happens if the next years it starts to decrease or it starts to change? So let's see still. So you have 300,000 pesos, 5,000 times 12 is equal to 60,000. Giving you 8% dividend yield, your earnings would be 4,800. That would mean that your money at the end of the year would be 64,800. Year 2, the yield was only 7% lower. That would put your total cash at the end of the year at 133,000. What if it decreases to 6% on the next year, lower again, you get 205,000 pesos. Then what if it drops again from 6% to 5%, you earn 13,000 pesos. To that year, your total cash at the end of the year is now 278,000. Then lastly, boom, it drops to 4%. The dividend yield drops to around 4%. You get 351,000 pesos. So just to show you, just to compare also, and you can do your own iterations of this when you get home. 8% gives you 380,000. Consistent for 5 years. Consistent 7% for 5 years gives you 369,000. Consistent 6% for 5 years gives you 358,000. Consistent 5% for 5 years gives you 348,000. Varying rates for 5 years will give you 351,000 pesos as well. So if you notice, different rates, but because they're dividends, I really believe as long as Pag-IBIG and a lot of people will still borrow money, there will still be a lot of returns, and it will be much, much higher than time deposits. Now, lastly, this is what I've been harping to people. Don't just limit it to 5 years, because the strength of compounding interest happens, in my opinion, based on my analysis, when you leave it for a very, very long period of time, and the tipping point normally is between the 10 to 12 year. So meaning if you just hold on to it for 5 years, you won't really get to see how amazing it is. Now, let me show you this example. This just assumes that you are investing it 5,000 pesos a year. You're not increasing, you're not changing, you're not doing anything. And it also assumes that the dividend earnings are just 6% per year consistently. I want to show you how amazing it will be after 20 years. Year number 2. What do you see? It becomes 131,000. Year number 3, 202,000, similar to what we've done earlier. Year number 4, 278. Year number 5, 358. Now here's where it gets interesting. Year number 6, 443. Year number 7, 533. You're now a half millionaire. 629,000. Year number 8. Year number 9, 730,000. Year number 10, 838,000. Year number 11, 952,000. Year number 12, now the tipping point starts to happen. Watch what happens after this. Please remember, year number 12, you've earned 60,000 pesos already just on dividends alone. So if you notice it also, you've been contributing yearly 60,000, but your dividend earnings is also almost the same already as your yearly contribution as well. So that's what makes it amazing. You've been putting 60,000 based on from your salary, most likely. But here's the thing, the money that you've been earning from your dividends suddenly is becoming bigger already. Tipping point, guys. Comment below if you're getting this. I hope you're getting this, because that's the power of investing. That's the power of compounding income. And I hope you get this, because compounding is one of the greatest ways for you to make money. It's interest making money for you, but you don't have to touch it, but you have to play the long game, but you have to be patient. Patience always wins. Whenever I see people say get rich quick, no one wants to get rich slow, that's not true. The rich people know the process. The rich people know how to do it. Will never fall for get rich quick schemes. You have to get rich right. Comment below if you believe in this. Comment below, I want to get rich right. Anyways, look at this. Year 13, 1.2 million. Year 14, 1.3 million. Year 15, 1.4 million. Year 16, 1.6 million. Year 17, 1.7 million. Year 18, 1.9 million. Year 19, 2.1 million. Year 20, 2.3 million pesos. So you suddenly see the tipping point. If you look at the last year, what you will get from dividend earnings is 132,000 already. It's much more already than what you are actually contributing as well. So by the way, Pag-IBIG MP2 is only for 5 years, meaning after the 5th year, you will have to open another plan and reinvest everything. But that's where it becomes amazing. Please remember this. It's 5,000 pesos. So that means if you have increases, you have other promotions, other extra sources of money, it does not even factor that in. It could be also that you will be richer because your other sources of income, the other money that comes your way, you're investing it in other things. It could be in stocks, it could be in real estate, it could be in business. But if everything goes well and it's at 6%, you get 2.3 million pesos already, and that's something that you can add for your retirement. So I hope you got a lot from this. I hope you learned from this. I hope that this series about Pag-IBIG MP2 is just showing a lot of people that you can be a millionaire, that you can be rich, that you don't have to take a lot of risks to be able to do it as well. But if you're young, take as much risk as you can, try everything so that you get to see what will work hard for you. But this video is for people who are risk averse. This video are for people who want to make money, but they're not so good in stocks. They don't want to go into bonds. They don't want to start their own business. They probably don't have the capital yet for real estate, etc. If you think Pag-IBIG MP2 fits you, comment Pag-IBIG MP2. Comment, I want more videos like this. And I hope that you got a lot from this, and I hope this added so much value to all of you. So we're close to the 19-minute mark. Super appreciate it if you comment. If you stayed here, I want to see if this is something that's helpful, that people are actually staying till the end. And I guess that's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.